And hello, good people of the internet. It is I, Tommy Kelly. This is Adventures in Woo Woo. For this episode, what I thought I would do is go back to doing something I used to do a few years ago when I used to go and actually do some stuff rather than just talk about stuff on the internet. I used to do a lot of randonauting and things like that, or do stuff with an app called Necrophonic, which is what I'm going to do today, which is when you try and talk to spirits or whatever it is that that these things are. What I'm going to do today, though, is I'm going to evoke or call on my holy guardian angel, and have the sigil that was given to me for this thing here, the sigil on my computer monitors. I've also called in the protector to protect the space. I've called in the gatekeeper in order to allow for the veils to be lifted, or in a way to get through to the other side. The messenger for clear and concise and good communication. And I have the master as well, which is, I suppose, the representation of the HGA within the 40 servants. I have the Necrophonic app done here, made an offering, and I've done a star ruby. So I'm going to go straight into it. Are you here? My HGA is called Peregrine. Are you here, Peregrine? So I just want to have a quick interjection here. I'm just after editing the entire video, and I just thought that I'd say a few words before we go into it proper, and how I did that. For people who are listening just on the audio only on the podcast, you probably have an opportunity to listen through this without being led in any way, without me kind of signaling to you or pushing you in a particular direction with the subtitles. So maybe if you want the purest of experience of this, then listen to it on audio only, or put your hand over the subtitle area if you're watching it on YouTube. But I did try my best to only subtitle words that I felt were the actual words that were being said. Anyone that I thought was a bit hazy but might fit in with context, I put some question marks after, and bits I didn't understand at all, I just put question marks on. One thing though, I do want to mention that I did come across a lot of words and phrases and stuff like that sounded like it was a Northern Ireland accent. So it might sound to me, who's kind of aware of that accent, and half of my family are Northern Irish, the whole lineage on one side is Northern Irish. So to me, they sound certain things because I'm aware of that accent, I know that accent, I'm familiar with that accent, but if you're from Spain, America, Mars, then you mightn't have the same appreciation of the accent, and it mightn't sound the same to you. But I can only be honest with myself and what I heard. And also, because coming out of the conversation we had recently on the previous TaSTA Podcast, I'll put the link in the description, where we talk a bit about that after doing these type of rituals, say the stuff we done with Jason or Duncan with Round Black, that and you go back and trying to make the patterns and sense of what was said or whatever, in the sense that maybe the pattern making afterwards is as much the divination or the message as everything else, that you create the lens or the perspective through which to sort out the information, and that is as important, or at least as valid a way of doing these things as just relying on it or thinking that these things you're hearing or receiving are the actual words of God. That it's like a combination, the relationship, it's the synchronicity of this random event, say like the thing we did with Jason with the spirit radio, the Estee method, the Gloria Estefan method, or with using an app that's randomly giving out words or bits of words. It claims that there's not even full words in it, but yet it sounds like full words. So I kind of embraced that and just said, okay, I'm just going to go with it fully, without, looking just to see what it is, without taking it fully on board. And if it's helpful and it's useful, and it gives me insights or leads me in directions that are fun or insightful or help me in any way, then great. Doesn't really matter what it is. If it's me making the patterns, if it's my HGA, or if it's a beef Martian. So back to future Tommy, past Tommy. Time is irrelevant, it doesn't exist. Tommy on another moment. It's always hard with this stuff to really, in the moment when you're recording, to make out what it is, but it's easier when you go back. Is this a good time for communication between me and you? Is there a message you would like to give me? We have recently, myself and Spud, contacted a being known as Black, who says they are a representation or a representative of the Secret Chiefs. Is there something you could tell me about him? What is the best way to communicate with you? Sound it like this. Can you tell me a little bit more about what's going on with world events? It's once again becoming very troublesome for me and worrying. No. Can you tell me a little bit about my sadness and this, why I kind of feel a background hum of sadness the whole time? And it's kind of come recently where I'm thinking that maybe it's just dukkha, or it's just kind of unable to deal with the kind of sadness of the world. So could you give me some advice on that and point me in the right direction? Can you say my name? Can you say your own name? Are my studies with regard to theosophy going in the right direction? Is there a way to communicate with you that would be easier than this? I know you said previously that it's the best way, but is there something that could be easier for me to understand you? This. I often have a sense or a vision of, when I meditate on you, that you are sitting beside me and I'm sleeping lying on the ground. And there's nothing you can do until I wake up. Is this an accurate description of our relationship? And there is a sense that you were worried about me. Almost like you're sitting beside like someone in a coma or someone who is sick. And in one version of this, I'm beside a fire in a huge desert, and you can see the rocks in the distance. And in another version, I'm in a cave. What can you tell me about these visions? What do I need to know that I'm not aware of? Can you tell me something about my immediate future and what is in store for me? Before I I'll say to give you the departure license, is there anything that you would like to say to me or communicate with me or mention to me? Okay. So, thank you very much for talking to me today. If there is a better way to communicate with you, please give me an insight around that. Yeah. Let's be better friends, Peregrine. I would like to know you better. So, thank you very much, and you may leave and return to wherever it is you return to, which I suspect is not far anyway. So, thank you. Okay. These type of things, I remember from doing them previously that it's, in the moment, it's very hard to, you hear bits and pieces, like there's a couple of questions there. I heard a name in regard to something, and so, when I asked questions, I said sure, but it's hard to pick it out. And then when you go back and you listen to it in the video, it's all too easy then to kind of make stuff up. The whole pareidolia stuff of you're looking for patterns and all like that. Some things do come out that they do sound like it's saying something, very distinct and very able to understand. So I'll be interested to go back, have a listen to all of that, put some subtitles on it, bit of creepy music underneath it, give it a bit of atmosphere, get in the zone. Yeah, just if you can think of any other ideas of things I could do, particularly solo. Seems as my partner in crime lives in a completely different country than me. It's hard to do so many things to sync up and do these type of practical type of stuff. So yeah, maybe bring the app and go to weird places or kind of creepier places. But I don't really want to do the creepy thing, you see. It's like, it's not really a ghost hunting thing or spirit thing I want to do. So I want to talk to Black more, I want to talk to Secret Chiefs more, I want to talk to my Holy Guardian Angel more, I want to talk to any other guides or any other people around me, or spirits around me, whatever's the correct word, rather than talk to random kind of entities. Because, I don't think they're going to know much more than, they knew when they died, probably even less. And it's like just going around on the street and talking to random people. How much good quality information are you going to find from, just walking to anywhere and just to the first person you meet and go, well, what do you know about life? Perhaps you would find something really, really interesting, but I would doubt it by the law of numbers. The law of numbers. Statistically, you would be probably unlikely to get a golden nugget by just randomly going to places. So I suppose I could have to maybe think about doing things that would be resonant with me, like doing it in the forest that I always go to Ravensdale, or in places that I really like. I thought the office would be good because, there's so much of what I do is here. All my magic is done here. All my meditation, all my star rubies, my banishings, my offerings, all of that. So, it's a good place as any to do it. But it's not probably the most exciting to look at. But we'll see. Anyway. If you have any ideas of what I could do, or different apps, I did get their new app. It's called Signal, and it works a bit more like a Spirit Radio app, where it'll go through the different radio stations, randomly, and you can pick up the 18 radio stations. I think it's a digital internet radio, so there's no like static between it the way you would with a kind of traditional FM receiver. But it's just so noisy and so busy that it would just it constantly just keeps going. That, as busy as that is, there is breaks where with the other thing it just seems to be going. I think it's more of a setting that I have to work with and try and work out. So maybe that would be an app that I could try next time. But if you know of an app, please let me know. And good people of the interest. Let's do some more adventures in woo-woo. Maybe do some more randonauting, remote viewing, all of these things. Suggestions on a postcard to Adventures in woo-woo, or just leave it in a message below. PM me, find me on the social medias, all of those good things. Okay, good people of the interest. I've sufficiently rambled. Be well.